Yeah,
sounds better.
lastly, we get to the Thukela Handicap, and we got Do It Again going for 3. We've got an Australian bred here, Infamous Fox, going for 3. He's an honest horse. He's a lovely horse. He's unfortunately just under that top echelon. So with his performances, you get stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you got to find races that suit him instead of going up against Group 1 animals and running 6 or 7 lengths off. And it just seems like this race suits him every year. He is carrying less weight than last year, funnily enough. But Warren Kennedy jumped on the phone and wanted the ride straight away. On ratings, he is the best horse in the race. It is a handicap over, but with a 2 draw, and he just loves Gravel. He's got to be a big runner. So you look at his last 2 runs. I mean, he had to take our chances against a Warm. He got beat 18 lengths and wasn't fit. But as I said, it's hard to find other races to get this horse into. So yeah, I make him a runner. I think he's valued at the price that he is. Another horse and a stable that is in scintillating form is the Aussies. Mark and Adam are flying at the minute. Orpheus, he's been to Gravel before and he bashed them on the poly track. He absolutely smashed him. So I don't know if it was the poly track that he absolutely loved or if it was the shorter running and the actual course. He's drawn 1. He's got Gavin Reena on, and I think you'll see Gavin going straight to the front and trying to win this race from there. So, I mean, you'd expect him to set a decent pace, but you could also see Gavin Reena playing it tactically and trying to stack everything up behind him. So, yeah, those 2 are interesting. Crown Towers, he ran last year, and I think he was the favourite, and Infamous Fox won the race. He's got to be included, Son of Camelot. I think he's better now at 4 than he was probably last year. And the interesting horse in the race is Tree Tumbo. He ran a shocker in the Daily News after a very good comeback run after gelding. And I think the son of Silvano will just be getting to his peak now in the next season or so. The family aren't the biggest. Volvich is not a massive mare, and her progeny haven't been too big either. But I think you could see this horse excelling over 2,000 plus next year. But he's an interesting runner, Yale 52. He has run well at the track as a 2-year-old, and he's the interesting horse for me after a very bad run last time, which I'd be putting down to travelling and second run after a rest.
Must admit, I'm a little bit biased for a couple of reasons with Crown Tower. Mainly because when he won on Cape Derby Day, I tipped him to everyone in sight, and it was Asian Racing Conference Week, and I think he went off at 40-1 from memory, and he just led, and he just held on. Capoeira was charging, but Crown Towers held on. He was coming off a poor run behind Vardy in the Queen's Plate, but he was back to better company. Back to better suited company. He was just in a better spot there, and again, he's just the type who, once he gets out on the speed, as long as he doesn't receive too much pressure, he's always difficult to run down. Infamous Fox, I remember the win last year. Infamous Fox, I remember having a look at the pedigree because obviously, as you said, Australian bred, and actually, I think. Infamous Fox had a 2-year-old half sister who won in Australia going back in the last couple of weeks or so, won on debut. So Infamous Fox, it'd be good to see him make it the 3-peat, especially if Do It Again doesn't. The pedigree of Crown Towers as well, Australian, Miss With Attitude. She was a good mare trained in South Australia, and actually she's got one of her foals running well over in Japan at the moment. So her progeny have gone far and wide. Crown Towers, look, I think that he's probably the one to beat for mine, but it is an open race. Obviously, Infamous Fox danger, even with that 61 kilos. But you look down, GJ's Dynasty had been running well. It's a typical open listed handicap here, and plenty of ways you can go. For mine, Crown Towers to end out the day.